Okay, so let us start this today's session. In the last session, we have started with the diesel cycle. Okay, in the last lecture, we have seen the expression for the diesel cycle. Okay, now in this lecture, okay, we will see the expression for the efficiency of dual cycle. We'll see the expression for the efficiency of dual cycle. Okay. Can anybody tell me, okay, what you can understand from this dual cycle? Can anybody can predict what is dual cycle? Okay, so see all of you. Okay, let us start with the PV and TS diagram. What we have done it for previous cycles. Okay, so I will plot basically the PV diagram, and at the same time, okay, we will go through the TS diagram. Okay, so let us start that. Okay, so this is basically the pressure. Okay, similarly, okay, here, okay, on the right hand side, we will draw the TS diagram also. In the vertical scale, we will take temperature. On the horizontal take, we will take the entropy. Okay, see here all of you. This is basically the pressure and volume diagram where, okay, here on the vertical axis, we will take a pressure. On the horizontal axis, we will take a volume. Here in the TS diagram, on the vertical axis, we will take temperature. On the horizontal axis, we will take the entropy. Okay, now see, okay, let us try to, okay, recap. Okay, what is Otto cycle and what is diesel cycle? Okay, so only difference between Otto cycle and diesel cycle is, okay, in terms of heat added. Okay, when you see about Otto cycle, heat is added at a constant volume. In diesel cycle, heat is added at a constant pressure. So this is the only change. Okay, in Otto cycle, heat is added at a constant volume. In diesel cycle, heat is added at a constant pressure. Okay, now what happens in dual cycle is, heat is added initially at a constant volume, then at a constant pressure. Okay, so this is a meaning of dual cycle. Okay, so in dual cycle, initially we are adding the heat at a constant volume as like Otto cycle. Then we are adding the heat at a constant pressure as like a diesel cycle. Okay, and rest of the procedure will remain same. Okay, so let us start. Okay, let us start with the, okay, the each of the process. Okay, so let us take this point number one. Okay, this is basically the point number one from where I will start. This is point number one. So from point number one, okay, so the fluid will get compressed. Okay, so we will compress the fluid from point number one. Okay, so it will reach to point number two. Okay, you can see the process, same process. Okay, you can see same process. Okay, I have plotted for the Otto cycle. Okay, same process as you can see, I have plotted for the diesel cycle. Okay, if you can see in the diagram. Okay, so this is the above cycle, it's the Otto cycle. Below that, it's a diesel cycle. And now what I am drawing, it's a dual cycle. Okay, so process 1 to 2. Okay, it's okay, it is same in Otto as well as diesel as well as dual. Okay, and that what is the process 1 to 2? The process 1 to 2, okay, it's the isentropic process which is governed by law PV raised to power gamma is equal to C. Okay, so this is a law which governs the isentropic process. Okay, it is also known as adiabatic process. 1 to 2, okay, it is nothing but isentropic. Why it is isentropic? Because I have written the law PV raised to power gamma is equal to C. That means entropy at point number 1 is equal to entropy at point number 2. Okay, so that is the meaning of isentropic. Okay, so entropy at point number 1, it is same as entropy at point number 2. Now this arrow indicates it's a compression. Okay, because pressure is increasing and volume is decreasing when we move from point 1 to 2. Okay, so when we move from point number 1 to 2, what happens? Pressure increases, volume decreases. Such process, it is known as compression. Okay, so the arrow indicates it's a compression. Okay, the law which is written, okay, on the process indicates that it's a adiabatic or it's a polytropic. Okay, so now let us start. Okay, let us work out on the TS diagram. Same process, we will plot it on a TS diagram. Okay, so as you can see, okay, so the TS diagram, okay, for this process will be same as Otto cycle or diesel cycle. Okay, so if I take this point number 1 here, okay, as you can see, okay, if I start from point number 1 here, okay, I need to move vertically upward. Okay, I will move vertically upward, so I will reach it to point number 2. Okay, the reason behind it that, okay, during 1 to 2, entropy has to be kept constant, that is value of S1 is equal to S2. Okay, so during 1 to 2 you can check entropy is constant. Now the reason why you have moved in a vertically upward direction, okay, is that, okay, the process 1 to 2 is compression. Okay, so 1 to 2 is a compression, so whenever there is a compression, obviously the temperature will increase. The temperature will increase, so that is the reason why I am moving from point number 1. Okay, and number 1, it is also possible that you can go down, you can go down, this is also a possibility. Okay, but the reason why you are not going down is it's a compression. Whenever there is a compression, okay, the temperature will increase. Okay, so this is process 1 to 2. Okay, now let us move to the process 2 to 3. You can see here, when we see the Otto cycle 2 to 3, it is done at a constant volume, while in case of a diesel cycle it is done at a constant pressure. Okay, so what we'll do in the dual cycle is, initially we will do that process, okay, at a constant volume. Okay, so this is a process, so we will move from point number 2, okay, so as to reach point number 3. Okay, so we will move from point number 2 to point number 3, okay, as like Otto cycle. That means we are adding the heat, okay, we are adding the heat at a constant volume. I will call that heat as QS1. I will call this as QS1. Amount of heat added during process 2 to 3, I will call it as QS1. Okay, so during 2 to 3, by keeping the volume constant, okay, so if you want, okay, I will just show here. So volume at point number 2 is equal to volume at point number 3, right? Volume at point number 2 is equal to volume at point number 3, right? So this is basically the process 2 to 3. Okay, so this is done on Otto cycle. So in Otto cycle, heat is added at a constant volume. Now in diesel cycle, you can see heat is added at a constant pressure. Okay, so now what I will do is, now I will add the heat. Okay, now I will add the heat at a constant pressure. Okay, now I will add the heat at a constant pressure. So let's see that. So let us add the heat, okay, at a constant pressure now. Okay, so this point is 324. Okay, so see all of you. Initially, I have added the heat at a constant volume, then I added the heat at a constant pressure. And let's say that, okay, how much heat is added? Amount of heat added, I will call this as QS2. QS2, I will call this, I will call it as QS2, right? Okay, so during 3 to 4, amount of heat added is QS2, right? So this is process 3 to 4. So initially I have added at a constant volume, okay, then I have added at a constant pressure. Now what is about the rest of the process? Rest of the process will remain same. This isentropic expansion and constant volume heat rejection, it will remain same. Okay, so let us plot those processes also. Okay, so now I will expand from point number 4. Okay, now I will expand from point number 4, okay, to point number 5. Okay, so I will expand from point number 4 to point number 5. See, like this. Okay, and this expansion, it's isentropic, which is governed by law P raised to power gamma is equal to C. Okay, expansion is isentropic, which is governed by law P raised to power gamma is equal to C. Okay, that means entropy at point number 4 is same as entropy at point number 5. Entropy at point number 4 is equal to entropy at point number 5, right? So this is nothing but isentropy. See, P raised to power gamma is equal to C, it indicates it's isentropic. When we see 1 to 2 and 4 to 5, both are isentropic. Okay, but when you see the direction of the arrow, it is going upward, it indicates it's a compression. When you see this arrow, it's going downward, it indicates it's an expansion, right? So this is isentropic expansion, right? That is. Let us go to this process, next process. Okay, we need to reject the heat now. Okay, so how will we reject the heat? Obviously, we will reject the heat. Okay, volume. Okay, so this 5 to 1 during 1. Okay, we'll be rejecting the heat. We will rejecting. So QR amount of heat is rejected. But what happens during 5 to 1? During 5 to 1, Okay, volume is held constant, that is V phi is equal to V1, right? During process 5 to 1, volume is held constant, that is V phi is equal to V1. Okay, so this is how we have plotted these processes, okay, on the PV diagram. Okay, now we are not yet finished with the TS diagram. So 1 to 2, it's what? 1 to 2, it's isentropic compression. Okay, isentropic compression. So by keeping that entropy constant, as it's a compression, we are increasing the temperature. Okay, now let us plot the process 2 to 3. Let us plot the process 2 to 3. So during 2 to 3, what happens is heat is added. During 2 to 3, heat is added. Okay, but heat is added at a constant volume. Okay, heat is added at a constant volume. Okay, so what I will do is from point number 2, okay, so from point number 2, I will move, okay, along this line till point number 3. Okay, see here, all of you, I will move from point number 2 to point number 3 along this line. Okay, where along this line volume is constant, that is V2 is equal to V3. Okay, along this line what happens is volume is held constant. So on, okay, if you measure the volume at any point on this line, it is constant. Okay, that is V2 is equal to V3. Okay, so see, as I'm adding the heat is supplied, you can check. So when heat is supplied, what happens? Temperature also increases as well as entropy increases. Okay, so when we move from point number 2 to 3 on this line, volume is held constant. Okay, but as you have supplied the heat, okay, temperature increases. So as temperature increases, here also entropy also increases. So that is nothing but 2 to 3. Okay, now see, let us move to the now process 3 to 4. So during 3 to 4 also the heat is added. Okay, during 3 to 4 also the heat is added. Okay, so see, during 3 to 4 we are adding the heat at a constant pressure. Okay, if you just want, I will also mention here P3 is equal to P4. P3 is equal to P4 on this line, right? On this, okay, P3 is equal to P4. Okay, so see, from point number 3, I need to move on a constant pressure line, right? Because from point number 3 to 4, a pressure is constant. Okay, so what I will do is from point number 3, I will move on a constant pressure line. Okay, so I will get the point number 4 here. Okay, so from point number 3, I will move on this constant pressure line along which the pressure is held constant. Okay, that is P3 is equal to P4. Okay, so on this line, if you measure the temperature, if you measure the pressure at any point, it is constant. Okay, so by keeping the pressure constant, okay, you can see here, sorry, you can see here, all of you, I will just, okay, remove this now. Okay, by keeping the pressure constant, we are adding the heat. Okay, so from point number 3, okay, when we move to point number 4, what happens? The pressure is held constant along this line. Okay, but as we are adding the heat, what happens? Okay, from 3 to 4, temperature increases as well as entropy increases. You can see from point number 3 to 4, what happens? Temperature has also increased from T3 to T4. At the same time, entropy also increased from S3 to S4. Okay, so this is a process, right? This is a process 3 to 4 which we have plotted on a TS diagram. Okay, now let us move to point number 4 to 5. Point number 4 to 5. Now see, okay, see, process 4 to 5, it's exactly reversed of 1 to 2. Okay, 1 to 2, it's a compression. 4 to 5, it's an expansion. Okay, so we'll be plotting the process. Okay, we'll be plotting the process exactly the reverse of process 1 to 2. Okay, so what we'll do, okay, we will move from point number 4, okay, and we will reach it to point number, okay, 5. Okay, we'll reach it to point number 5. Is that okay? Okay, we'll reach it to point number 5. So you can see, all of you, when we move from point number 4 to 5, what happens? During 4 to 5, during the process 4 to 5, entropy is constant, right? Entropy is constant. That is, value of S4 is equal to value of S5, right? You can see value of S4 is equal to S5. Okay, on this line, entropy is constant. That is, S4 is equal to S5. Okay, but see, as it's an expansion, what happens? During expansion, what happens? Temperature drops down. Okay, so by keeping the entropy constant, we are expanding it. So as a reason, okay, the temperature will drop down, right? Now let us move to the process 5 to 1. 5 to 1, it's a rejection, heat rejection. So heat is rejected at a constant volume. Heat is rejected at a constant volume, right? So what we'll do when we'll move from point number 5 to 1, okay, when we'll move from point 5 to 1, you can see when we'll move from point number 5 to 1, okay, along this line, what will happen? Volume will be held constant. So V5 is equal to V1. Volume will be held constant along this line, okay, and the heat gets rejected. So when we move from 5 to 1 on this line, volume is held constant, and as the heat is rejected, what happens? The temperature will drops down. At the same time, entropy will also drop down. Okay, so during heat rejection, okay, what happens? Temperature drops down as well as entropy drops down. So this is what the TS diagram is. Now see, when we see this diagram clearly, okay, you might have observed, okay, this constant volume lines, they're more inclined as compared to the constant pressure line. Okay, you can see this constant volume line, okay, they're said to be more inclined, okay, if you compare it with the constant pressure line. Okay, you also can see this you can see this constant volume line, also you can see this constant volume line, they're sort said to be more inclined. Okay, but when we compare it with the constant pressure lines, okay, they're having somewhat less slope. Okay, when we measure this constant volume line, they are said to be more inclined. So is it okay with this PS and PV and TS diagram for the dual cycle? Let me know. Is that okay? Yes, let me know. All of you, is that okay? Yes, is that okay? See, I'm waiting for your response. Is that okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'll just fastly write down the process 1 to 2. 1 to 2, it's isentropic. 1 to 2, when we say it's isentropic, it is also known as adiabatic. It's isentropic or adiabatic compression. Okay, I will fastly write down those process. 1 to 2, it's isentropic or adiabatic compression. Let us now move to the process 2 to 3. Process 2 to 3, it's a constant. Process 2 to 3, it's a constant volume. Constant volume, it's also known as, what is constant volume? It's also known as isochoric. Constant volume or isochoric heat addition. Heat addition. Okay, so this is what the process 2 to 3 is. Now, when we move to the next process, 3 to 4, okay, when we move to the next process, that is 3 to 4, the process 3 to 4, okay, it's nothing but constant pressure. Okay, constant pressure, it's also known as baric, right? Isobaric. It's a isobaric, okay, heat addition. Isobaric heat addition. Okay, now when we move to the process 4 to 5, okay, it's a isentropic. It's a isentropic only. So it's a isentropic, or it is also known as adiabatic. Isentropic or adiabatic expansion. Isentropic or adiabatic expansion. Okay, now let us move to the next process, that is 5 to 1. 5 to 1. Okay, it is constant, okay, volume. It's a constant volume, or it is also known as isochoric heat rejection. Isochoric heat rejection. Okay, so okay, I'll just briefly written down those processes. Okay, now let us move to the calculation of efficiency. Okay, now let us move to the calculation of efficiency. Okay, so see all of you, okay, how to calculate the efficiency. Okay, so in order to start with the formula for the calculation of efficiency, okay, so how to calculate efficiency, all of you? See, efficiency of the dual cycle, okay, is given by, okay, what net work, okay, you have upon what input you are given. Okay, it's a ratio of output by input. Output will be in the form of work, and input will be in the form of heat supplied, right? So when we apply the first law of thermodynamics for the cycle, okay, it say that net work transfer is equal to net heat transfer. Net work transfer, okay, see, net heat transfer is equal to net work transfer, or net work transfer is equal to net heat transfer. Okay, so I just written down that. Okay, now see here, all of you, what is net heat? You know, it's heat supplied minus heat rejected upon heat supplied, right? It's heat supplied minus heat rejected upon heat supplied, right? So what you will get here is 1 minus heat rejected, okay, upon heat supplied. See, same formula we have written for rest of the Otto cycle or diesel cycle. Okay, you can just go through that formula also. So let me write down this as equation number 1. Okay, now let us try to put the value. Okay, let us start with QS. Okay, heat supplied. Okay, so how to calculate heat supplied? So see, all of you, when we see this, okay, heat is supplied, as you can check. Heat is supplied, okay, during two processes. One during 1 to 2, second during 1 during 2 to 3, and second during 3 to 4. Okay, one it is done during, okay, 2 to 3, and second is done during 3 to 4. Okay, so let us write down for QS1. What is the amount of heat supplied during 2 to 3, right? So heat is supplied during 2 to 3 at a constant volume, right? Heat is supplied during 2 to 3, okay, during the process 2 to 3 at a constant volume. Okay, so formula is M into CV into final temperature minus initial temperature. Okay, so during 2 to 3, how much heat you have supplied? You have supplied the heat at a constant volume. So formula is MCV into final temperature minus initial temperature. Okay, why I'm taking final minus initial? Because temperature after heat addition, it is always greater than the temperature before the heat addition. Okay, so when you add the heat, what happens? The T2 will be get increased to T3. That's why I taken T3 minus T2. Okay, now let us work out on this one, 3 to 4. What amount of heat that is supplied during 3 to 4? I call it as QS2. I will call this as QS2. Okay, so heat supplied during 3 to 4 is QS2, and heat is supplied at a constant pressure. So formula is M into Cp. See, when it was at a constant volume, it is MCV. When it is at a constant pressure, it is MCP. MCP into water. Okay, see, when we supply the heat, what happens? T3 will increase to T4. Okay, so I will take T4 minus T3. T4 minus T3. So this is the total amount of heat which has been supplied during this cycle. Okay, so heat it is supplied in this cycle during two processes. That is during 2 to 3, we used to call it as QS1. During 3 to 4, we used to call it as QS2. Okay, so when I add these two, okay, when I add these two, that is QS1 plus QS2. So they will give me the total amount of heat added, okay, during this cycle. Okay, so I will just add this MCV T3 minus T2 CP T4 minus T3, right? So this is a total amount of heat supplied, right? This is the total amount of heat supplied, right? Now let us calculate what amount of heat is rejected. Okay, what is the amount of heat, okay, that is rejected. So let us calculate that. Okay, how to calculate the amount of heat rejected? Amount of heat rejected QR. Okay, heat is rejected during which process? During 5 to 1. Okay, so and you know that heat is rejected at what? At a constant volume. So formula is MCV into, see, whenever it's a constant volume, it's MCV. Okay, now see, when the heat is rejected during 5 to 1, what happens? During the heat rejection, the temperature drops down, temperature get decreased, right? So initial temperature was T5. Okay, and when you reject the heat, the T5 get decreased to T1. Okay, so I'll just write down this as T5 minus T1. Okay, T5 minus T1. Okay, see, because you already know that it's a rejected. It's already know that it's a rejected. So we'll take what? Higher temperature minus lower temperature. Okay, T5 is greater than T1 because T5 will decrease to T1 as pure amount of heat is rejected, right? So this is what value of pure what we got. Okay, now let us substitute these values in the formula of efficiency. Okay, so efficiency of dual cycle is given by 1 minus M into CV into T5 minus T1 upon, okay, see, upon what is heat supplied. Okay, this is the total amount of heat supplied, that is M CV T3 minus T2 plus M CP T4 minus T3. T4 minus T3. Is it okay? All of you, is that okay or not? Let me know. Is that okay? Yes. Is that okay with this diagram? Have you understood from where this formula is being derived? Yes, I'm waiting for your response, all of you. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Is that okay? I repeat, is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now see what we'll do. We'll divide this equation by MCV. Okay. We'll divide this equation by M into CV. So what I will get? I will get it like this is equal to T5 minus T1 upon MCV. MCV again gets cancelled. What is remaining? It's T3 minus T2. T3 minus T2 is remaining, right? See, MCV I will divide. So MCV get cancelled. Here again, MCV get cancelled. Here, MM gets cancelled. What is remaining is CP by CV, right? And CP by CV it is called as gamma, okay, into T4 minus T3. Okay, if you want, I will just write down CP by CV is called as gamma. Okay, here I've written this one. CP by CV it is called as gamma. Right? See, when we divide by MCV, what is remaining? CP by CV is gamma. Okay, so let us call this as some equation. Let us call this as equation number 2. Okay, let us call this as equation number 2. Right? So, okay, so we have derived the basic expression for the efficiency in terms of temperature, right? In terms of temperature, we derive. Okay, now let us move ahead. Okay, now what I want a simplified equation. This is in terms of all temperatures. What I will do, I will try to represent, okay, some of the temperature in the form of, okay, few of the temperatures. Okay, so I need to represent one temperature in the form of other temperature. That is the thing which I'll be doing. Okay, now see, when we see this process 1 to 2, see, when you see the process 1 to 2, 1 to 2, it's isentropic compression. Okay, so see, whenever the process is isentropic, whether it's a compression or whether it's expansion, okay, we'll be able to write down this law, that is T2 by T1. Okay, this is basically not the law, it's a relationship between temperature, pressure, and volume. Okay, so T2 by T1 is P2 by P1 raised to power gamma minus 1 by gamma is equal to V1 by V2 raised to power gamma minus 1. See, this is the expression which we have 2 times rather written, okay, in this chapter only. Initially we have written the same expression for Otto cycle, same expression we have written for diesel cycle. Now same expression I'm writing for dual cycle, because we have same process 1 to 2 in Otto, diesel, and dual. So I'm writing the same equation again. Okay, now see, what we will do is, okay, now I will just equate these two. Okay, I'll just equate these two. Okay, but before that, okay, before going to this expression, okay, let us write down, okay, some of the ratios. Let us write down some of the ratios. Okay, so here, okay, here I will just write down some of the ratios. Okay, see,
टाइम हो गया बोलते नहीं तुम लोग लेते हो
see, all of you. So let us start. Okay, I will just define the first.
मैम तो 1 बजे भी लेते हैं, मैम का लेक्चर था, मानना चाहिए इसको। तो बोलते हैं, तो कुछ बच्चे बोलते कि हमारा 31 की जमा।
So let us start with the first ratio. I will just first tell you the ratio, what is called as compression ratio. I repeat, compression ratio. Compression ratio, it is indicated by RC. Compression ratio, it is called as RC. And now what is the formula for RC? Compression ratio, it is given by, it's the ratio of volume before the compression to the volume after the compression. Okay, this we already seen in the last lecture only. Compression ratio indicated by RC, it's the ratio of volume before the compression, okay, to the volume after the compression. So RC is V1 by V2. Okay, one more ratio, it's called as expansion ratio. I will just write down very fastly. Expansion ratio. Okay, so expansion ratio, it is indicated by RE. See, we have already seen these ratios for the Otto and diesel cycle. Okay, so expansion ratio, it is indicated by RE. After the expansion, okay, to the volume before the expansion. Okay, see, for expansion, it is you can see after to the before. You can see it's a ratio of V5 by V4, because V5 is greater than V4. Okay, so but for compression, Okay, you need to take before, after. You can say for compression ratio, we are taking what? We are taking initial term as before term. Compression ratio is the ratio of volume before the compression to the volume after the compression. Okay, and for expansion ratio is a ratio of volume after the expansion to the volume before the expansion. So that is called as expansion ratio. Okay, see, there is one more ratio here. It's called as cutoff ratio. Okay, it is called as cutoff ratio. Cutoff ratio, okay, it is indicated by the term rho. Okay, so rho, cutoff ratio, rho, it is indicated as, see, cutoff ratio, it's a ratio of volume, it's a ratio of volume after the heat addition to the volume before the heat addition. I repeat, cutoff ratio, it's a ratio of volume after the heat addition to the volume before the heat addition, okay, in constant pressure process. Okay, so I'll just write down it as V4 by V3. See, V4 is the volume after the heat addition, V3 is the volume before the heat addition. So ratio of V4 by V3, it's a cutoff ratio, right? It's a cutoff ratio. Okay, now let me write down as one more ratio. Okay, it is called as pressure ratio. Okay, try to understand. One more ratio, it is called as pressure ratio. Pressure ratio. And pressure ratio, it is indicated by RP. Pressure ratio, it is indicated by RP. So what is the formula for RP? Pressure ratio RP, it is indicated by, it's the ratio of pressure after the heat addition, okay, to the pressure before the heat addition. See, pressure after the heat addition to the pressure before the heat addition in constant volume process, in a constant volume process. Okay, so see, cutoff ratio, it is for constant pressure process. Okay, pressure ratio, it's for constant volume process, right? Compression ratio, it's for compression process. You can see compression ratio, it is for compression process. Okay, expansion ratio, it is for expansion process, right? Cutoff ratio, you can see cutoff ratio, it is for constant pressure process. Pressure ratio, it's for constant volume process, right? Is that okay, all of you? Let me know. Is that okay? Let me know. Is that okay? Yes. See,
yes,
now
sir.
see, okay. So now see here, all of you, what is the formula for RC? RC is given by V1 by V2, right? RC is given by V1. Okay, RC is given by V1 by V2, right? So see, all of you, instead of see here, all of you, see, can I write down this V1 by V2 as, all of you, can I write down, okay, same what we have done it in the last derivation. Okay, so I just write down this as V1 by V2. Okay, so V1 by V2 I written. Okay, now what should I put this? Okay, what I should put here? Okay, so I'll be able to bring this in terms of some other variable. Yes, can you tell me? Yes, please. Okay, otherwise let us do it for RE. I'll do it for RE. RE is given by V5 by V4. Let's say this is V5 by V4. Okay, this is V5, this is V4. Okay, so let us do it in the form of RE. RE is the ratio of V5 by V4, so it's a V5 by V4, right? So okay, if I do it, or rather, okay, if I multiply and divide by V1, what will happen? Here I will put V1, here I will put V1. Can I do that? Okay, but they are one and same. I can't do that. Okay, can I do it here as V2? I'll divide and multiply by V2. Is that okay? Yes. Is that okay? Just let me know. Yes, I'm doing it. See, V5 by V4, it is already there. You can see RC. Let us do it in the form of expansion ratio. Expansion ratio, it is given by V5 by V4. So V5 by V4 is the expansion ratio. So V5 by V4, it's already there. I will multiply and divide by V2. Okay. So now let us try to simplify. What is V5? You can see what is V5? It's V1, right? So V5 is V1 by V2. See, V5 is V1 by V2 into, okay, V2. Okay. See, V2 I taken as it is. Okay. See here, V2. What is V2? It is same as V3, right? V2 is same as V3, right? V2 is same as V3 upon V4. See, V5 I have taken as V1, V2 I have taken as V3, right? Now see, this is RC, right? So this is RE, right? RE. So RE is given by, what is V1 by V2? V1 by V2, you can check. It's RC. It's a RC. Into what is V3 by V4? See, V3 by V4 is 1 by rho, right? It's 1 by rho, right? So what value of RC you got? RE is given by, okay, RE, that is expansion ratio, is given by, okay, RC by rho. RC by rho. Is it okay? Say yes or no? Is that okay? See, let me know. Is that okay or not? Is that okay? See, I've just taken this expansion ratio. Expansion ratio is V5 by V4. So V5 by V4, it is there. I multiply and divide by V2. Okay, now V5 is nothing but V1 and V2 is nothing but V3. What is V1 by V2? It's RC. What is V3 by V4? It's 1 by rho. Okay, so RE is given by RC by rho. Is that okay? Yes, let me know. Is that okay? Okay, say yes or no. So see, all of you. So let us start with this one now. So T2, how to write down T2? T2 is given by T1. I will bring it on the right hand side. T1, okay, is T1 into what? Into V1 by V2. What is V1 by V2? It's RC, right? T1 into RC raised to power gamma minus 1. See, this is the value of T2. What I got? T2 is equal to T1. I bring it on the right hand side. So T1 into V1 by V2 is RC raised to power gamma minus 1. Okay. Now see, let us see this process 2 to 3. 2 to 3, it's the constant volume process, right? 2 to 3 is a constant volume process. Okay. So I'll be able to write down the law like this. Okay. P2 V2 by T2 is equal to P3 V3 by T3. In the last lecture only, I told you how it came. It is by ideal gas equation. P2 V2 is equal to MRT2. P3 V3 is equal to MRT3, right? So P2 V2 by T2 is equal to P3 V3 by T3. Okay. But you can see from process 2 to 3, what happens? The volume is held constant, but V2 is equal to V3, right? But V2 is equal to V3. So V2 and V3 gets cancelled. What is remaining? It's P2 by T2 is equal to P3 by T3. Is equal to P3 by T3. See, this is ideal gas equation. You can apply for any state. P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2 is equal to P3 V3. See, P1 V1 by T1 is equal to P2 V2 by T2 is equal to P3 V3 by T3 is equal to P4 V4 by T4 is equal to P5 V5 by T5. Okay, I am applying it only between 2 to 3. Okay, so this equation I written. Okay, but you can see volume is equal, volume at point number 2 is equal to volume at point number 3. So V2 is equal to V3. So V2 and V3 gets cancelled. P2 by T2 is equal to P3 by T3, right? Now see, here I'm interested to get the value of T3. Okay, so I will try to represent T3 is equal to P3 by P2 into T2. P3 by P2 into T2. P3 by P2 into T2. Now you can see what is P3 by P2. P3 by P2 is RP, right? So T3 I will write down as T3 is P3 by P2. It's RP. Okay, RP into T2. What is the value of T2? Okay, it is T1 into RC raised to power gamma minus 1. Okay, so this is the value of T3 what we got. This is the value of T3 we got, right? Okay, now we want T4. We want now T4. So we will apply the same equation between 3 to 4. Okay, so I'll just write down this as P3 V3 by T3 is equal to P4 V4 by T4 is equal to P4 V4 by T4, right? Okay, I'm applying now between 3 to 4. Now when we see 3 to 4, what happens? Pressure is held constant. Okay, so but P3 is equal to P4. P3 is equal to P4. So P3 and P4 gets cancelled. What is remaining? It's V3 by T3 is equal to V4 by T4. V3 by T3 is equal to V4 by T4. Again, I want the value of T4. So except T4, rest of the everything I will bring it on a right hand side. So T4 is given by V4 by V3 into T3. V4 by V3 into T3, right? Now let us check what is V4 by V3. V4 by V3 is rho. Okay, so T4 is given by V4 by V3 is rho into T3. Now this is the value of T3. So that is RP into T1 into RC raised to power gamma minus 1. Okay, so this is the value of T4 what we got. Okay, see, T1 was there, T2 I calculated, T3 I calculated, T4 I calculated. Now I will calculate the last value, that is T5. Okay, so how to calculate T5 now? Again, see, as like 1 to 2, 4 to 5 is again isentropic process. So I will just write down that process, okay, or law. Okay, so T5 by T4 is equal to, you can see same expression like this I'm writing, T5 by T4 is equal to P5 by P4 raised to power gamma minus 1 by gamma, gamma minus 1 by gamma is equal to V4 by V5 raised to power gamma minus V4 by V5 raised to power gamma minus. Okay, now what I will do, okay, again I will equate these two. Okay, so T5 is equal to T4 into this term. Okay, into what this term? V4 by V5. Now what is V4 by V5? See, V4 by V5 is 1 by Re. Okay, so it is given by 1 by Re. 1 by Re raised to power gamma minus 1. See, you can see V4 by V5 is 1 by Re. Okay, so what I will get here is, so is equal to, okay, now T4, value of T4, it is there, right? So rho into Rp into T1 into Rc raised to power gamma minus 2. Okay, into now question is what is 1 by Re? Re, you know, Re is Rc by rho. Then 1 by Re is rho by Rc, right? So it is rho by Rc raised to power gamma minus 1. Okay, rho by Rc raised to power gamma minus 1, right? So now let us simplify it. Okay, now we are at the, okay, on the verge of completion of this one, right? So T5 is given by, okay, see this rho Rp into T1 into Rc raised to power gamma minus 1, I written as it is. Now this power you need to give to every, okay, numerator as well as denominator. So rho raised to power gamma minus 1 upon Rc raised to power gamma minus 1, right? So what happens, this Rc raised to power gamma minus 1, Rc raised to power gamma minus 1, okay, gets cancelled. You can see this, okay, these terms gets cancelled. Okay, this term gets cancelled, right? Now what is remaining is T5 is equal to, okay, T5 is equal to, okay, see here rho is already there, right? Rho, what is the power of rho? I'll just write down, power of rho is 1, okay, and here power of rho is gamma minus 1. Okay, so that is plus gamma minus 1, right? See, these two are in multiplication, so we'll add their powers. Okay, so into Rp, I'll just write down into Rp into T1, into T1, right? Okay, so what I'll get the value of T5 is equal to, see, 1 minus 1 gets cancelled, so rho raised to power gamma into Rp into T1, So this is the value of T5, what I got. This is the value of T5, what I got, right? Now what I will do, okay, now every value I know, okay, you can see T1, T2, T3. T2 is known, T3 is known, T4 is known, T5 is also known. Okay, I will put now in the equation number 2. Okay, so efficiency of dual cycle is now given by 1 minus, okay, T5. What is T5? Just now I have calculated that value. Okay, here only we have rho raised to power gamma into Rp into T1. See, this is the value of T5 I written. Value of T5, you can see T5 I written minus T1, okay, in the denominator we'll write down, okay, T3, let us write down the value of T3, what we got. Value of T3 is given by Rp, okay, into T1 into Rc raised to power gamma minus 1. This is the value of T3, okay, minus T2, value of T2 is T1 into Rc raised to power gamma minus 1. T1 into Rc raised to power gamma minus 1, right? So this is the value of T2, T1 minus T2, okay, plus gamma into T4. What is the value of T4? What we got? Rho into Rp into T1, okay, Rc raised to power gamma minus 1, right? So this is the value of T4 what we got, minus T3 now, okay, Rp into T1 into Rc raised to power gamma minus 1, right? Into Rc raised to power gamma. So these are the values what we got. Okay, so we have substituted the values. Now we'll just, okay, try to simplify this equation. So you can see in the denominator, numerator, the T1 is common. Okay, so I'll just take that T1 common. Okay, T1 I will take it common. What is remaining? It's, okay, when we take T1 common, what is remaining? okay, Rp, okay, into rho raised to power gamma minus 1. Okay. Okay. Now see all of you. What I will do is, okay, see from all this. Okay, you can see T1 is common, T1 is common, right? Okay. See all of you can see here. See T1 into Rc raised to power gamma minus 1 is common. T1 into Rc raised to power gamma minus 1. Every, okay, in every term. Okay, so I'll just take it that common. See T1 I have taken common into Rc raised to power gamma minus 1 I have taken common for all. Okay, so now what is remaining here is, see T1 into Rc raised to power gamma minus 1 when we take common from all the four terms. Okay, what is remaining here is Rp minus 1. You can check it. Rp minus 1. You can check it. This Rp minus 1 is remaining. Okay, see here. T1 into Rc raised to power gamma minus 1 I have taken common from all the four terms. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. So what is remaining here is Rp minus 1. Okay. So this term, it is nothing but this complete term, right? Plus gamma I have written. Okay. Now see T1 into Rc raised to power gamma minus 1, it's already common. Okay. But when we see these two terms, Rp is also common. Okay. For these two terms, Rp is also common. So I will just take Rp also common here. Okay. Only for this particular term. Okay. Now Rp is common. T1 into Rc raised to power gamma minus 1 is common. Only remaining is rho. Okay. So rho is remaining. Okay. And here is remaining is only minus 1. Okay. Is minus 1. Is that okay? Is that okay or not? Okay, so see what I will do here, I will just make a large bracket. Okay, because this term is common to all. Right? I'll just make a large bracket. Is that okay, all of you? Yes. So what is remaining? Efficiency of dual cycle, how will you write down? It is given by 1 minus T1 gets cancelled. 1 upon Rc raised to power gamma minus 1. Okay, into bracket, what is remaining? It's okay. Rp into rho raised to power gamma minus 1, okay, upon Rp minus 1 plus gamma into Rp into rho minus 1. Is that okay, all of you? Let me know. Is that okay? Yes. Is that okay, all of you? Let me know. Is it okay with this one? See, from the numerator we have taken T1 common, and in the denominator from every term we have taken T1 into Rc raised to power gamma minus 1 common. Okay. And from this term only we have taken Rp common. Okay. So this is a simplified term. Is that okay? Say so no.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now see, when we see the formula for efficiency, okay, when we compare the formula, okay, I will just also show you those pages also. Okay, see all of you. See, this is the formula for efficiency of what? Otto cycle. Okay, I'll just put one more page. This is the formula for efficiency of diesel cycle. Okay. Now what I written is the formula for efficiency of dual cycle. See, this is the formula for efficiency of Otto cycle. It's 1 minus 1 upon Rc raised to power gamma minus. Okay. This is the efficiency of Otto cycle. Now, what is the formula for diesel cycle? Okay. This 1 upon Rc raised to power minus 1, you need to multiply by this term. Okay. So this becomes the efficiency of diesel cycle. Similarly, if you have dual cycle, okay, if you have dual cycle, you can see here. Okay, what is the formula for dual cycle? Efficiency of dual cycle. Can you see this formula, all of you? 1 minus 1 upon Rc raised to power gamma minus 1. Okay, this is to be multiplied by this bracket. You can see here the coefficient of 1 upon Rc raised to power gamma minus 1. Okay, or its multiplied factor is 1 here. Here multiplied factor is this term, and here multiplied factor is this term. Is that okay? all of you. Is it okay or not? Yes. Clear? Let me know. Is that clear or not? Have understood this derivation? Yes. Have understood this derivation?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So with this, okay, we have finished with the expression for the efficiency of dual cycle. Okay. So in the next lecture, okay, we will just start with the Breton cycle. Okay, followed by immediately the numerical based on it. Okay, so in the next lecture, we'll be starting with the numerical based on this. Okay, we'll take the numerical on Otto, diesel, and dual. Okay, so based on these three cycles, we will take the numericals. Okay, and followed by the PV TS diagram, only the PV and TS diagram for other cycles like Stirling cycle, linear cycle, Atkinson cycle. Okay, so for those cycles, only PV and TS diagram is important. Okay, but for Otto, diesel, and dual, okay, expression for the efficiency is also must. Okay, so that we will see in the next lecture. So today we'll conclude the session, and in the next lecture we will continue the same.